Okay guys, we're going to go through a video on a valve body upgrade for a 19 plus 68 RFE. This one has the extra solenoid block on top. By the time we're done, this valve body, I've already torn it down. It's going to have a oversized solenoid switch valve, a set of billet accumulator pistons, a separator plate, upgraded separator plate, and a billet channel plate. These are the things you have to do to make any kind of pressure with these transmissions that'll hold any kind of increased horsepower. We'll kind of go through some of the specifics of what we do and why we do them. And yeah, for now we're just going to get started on flat sanding and reaming for the oversized valve. Just wanted to do a short stint here first, just so that you guys can see how actually far these things are away from flat, right from factory. Don't know if you can see. Well, I can see. Any shiny spot, like along here, is all high. And any of the dark spots are low, and that's what we're trying to get away from. This is bench 2. Bench 3 is going to be so much better. I hate bench 2.
There's bench 3?
There will be. I don't know. Like I haven't, no, like I'll get rid of this one. I'll take it home or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you have a lot of room at home.
Yeah. Because this drain sucks. I was like, I need a teardown bench. And then I just was like, I don't know, this will work. Sent the designs off, and then like a week later came in, welded it up. First time I used it, I'm like, oh, this sucks. The next one I do, it'll just be tilted back, and the drain will just be along the back side. Not right in the freaking middle. Like, what am I thinking? That's exactly what it'll be. So, not sure if the camera can pick this up. Hopefully it can. This is what we're looking for. Nice, uniform. It's all, there's no great big high spots and low spots. Always going to be a little bit along the edge, like you can see here. But that's not, like that just bleeds into the transmission case. It's not a big deal. What you're looking for is all in the middle here. It's all got to be all shiny, showing that the sanding block actually came down far enough to make it flat. Okay, first up, solenoid switch valve. It rides in this bore. Oh, knock the camera over. It rides in this bore here, like this, with 3 pucks on the end of it, 3 spacers. So we are going to measure that, and we get 453. So we grab our 453 reamer tool and our 453 oversized valve, and we're gonna grab this in a place where we are not gonna damage the important area, like so, lightly. I need to build a setup to do all this over top of like a Varsol tank style parts washer, but I haven't had any issues with this. It's we don't have a whole lot of room here, so it's our biggest factor. So nice, easy, constant pressure. Never stop it in the bore if you can help it. All the way back out. I'll go blow this off. And we're gonna go blow this off. So once we're done oversizing with this, I always like to these. I think they're called like bore buddies or bench bore buddies or something. I don't know. I can't be sure. Just like so. Next up, the accumulator covers. So these bores here are where the accumulator pistons go. They don't have enough bolts. When you turn the pressure up, they break these bolts out. This cover peels back. I'll find a picture and put it in. But that's very common on these. So one of the main upgrades we do, along with everything else, is a heavy duty cover. So because we have to grab this valve body on the money side, I don't want to damage it, so we go like this. And we're not going tight, just a little bit. So this piece here from Suncoast is a guide for the extra holes and bolts we're going to put in there. So this screws in here. And take a drill bit. So, crack these loose. Now we gotta tap it. Drop the tap. Yes, I'm using a drill to tap. No, I will not mess it up. Okay, we're back in the clean shop, or the clean room here, the rebuild room. So we've got our 3 extra holes drilled. We've got our oversized bore for the solenoid switch valve, and what we're going to do now is vacuum check the solenoid switch valve to make sure that my machining process is successful, and to make sure that that valve isn't going to bypass. And to do that, we use vacuum. So we have a vacuum pump and a kit here. The setup from Sunex to do all the actual testing. This tool is the only way to rebuild 68s confidently. This is the only way that guys should be doing it. If your rebuilder does not have one of these, they are guessing, which is not what you want. So we want to this needs to pull 25 when you cover it. Oop. And the calibration to pull 5. Yep. So that was just setting up the gauge. Make sure it's good to go. So this is just a little gasket piece that sits down. Can you see? Yes, you can see. Little gasket plate to sit down just to give the vacuum something to seal through. And first we need to put the new valve in. Losing my mind. This one. We'll use this one. And a little spring, which will bounce. You will never find it. So what I do, put a little bit of schmutz on that guy, put it in there. Spring's not going anywhere. So spring end in first. Get you out of here. Spacer. Ever so slightly like that. Like so. And then the retainer from the back side. So a screwdriver or a pick. Just push the valve in. And then we want to make sure that that valve strokes properly. Springs back. That's what you want to hear. So this first one, and I'll take the camera off and I'll show you here. So, vacuum pump on. We're right there. Yeah, we're good. Here, I'll show you. So, you can see the plate is on and it's testing this first spot. And we are, yeah, like 22 inches of vacuum. So next, it's just the above it. Again, we're like, yeah, 24, so we're good. Yep. Oh yeah, beauty. Golden. So that means that that valve is sealed, no bypassing. When I had tested it before I pulled it up, before I turned the camera on, because I'm an idiot, it was down on all of them except for, I want to say the top one is okay. It's usually okay. But they were all failing. And I don't know the history on this valve body. I just know that it's going into a truck that has had some type of transmission failure that the customer is blaming on the valve body, which is not out of the question at all. Usually overdrive, you get fifth and sixth overdrive gear ratio incorrect codes. This valve is usually the first place that we check, and usually it's failed. But by that time, normally the overdrives have burnt themselves to a crisp. So next up, we can continue on assembling with the some factory stuff and some upgraded stuff. I need to make a fixture for this. I feel like I'm always fumbling with it all the time. I look like an idiot, but here we are. So this is the wash basket. Everything inside of here has gone through the parts washer. This parts washer, which is a saving grace. So first things first, let's go after the accumulators. Three rings on each of these. I always like to offset the openings. Does it do anything at all? I don't know. I tell myself it does. So I'm gonna lube these, plop them in. just like so. So all of these springs, accumulator springs, go back in, but on the last one here, make sure those aren't bound up like that. The last one gets a washer, a spacer, new plate goes on, plug goes in first, the plug. Okay guys, we are back. Next day. I intended to get to this last night, but here we are. So, where we left off, we did some flat sanding. We oversized this valve. We vacuum checked this valve, this solenoid switch valve. Probably one of the more important steps is to verify your work on this guy. We then did the billet accumulator pistons. We put the springs back in. We drilled 3 more holes in the plate, and we put the heavy duty plate back on, and this has been torqued. Next order of operations is the billet channel plate and the separator plate. This separator plate, if you're in the world of transmissions, may look a little different than what you're used to. The industry has seemed to go away from the bonded separator plates. I can't say that we ever had a direct issue with the bonded stuff. I do have one here that I can show you the difference. The bonded ones just have like an actual gasket material bonded to it. This is actually the first valve body that I've ever done where Randy's says no more bonded, and we're gonna go to this. So this has a coating. He did actually tell me, one of their guys, zinc coated. Apparently that's zinc. I would not have known that, but here we are. So that's the new stuff. We're gonna try it out, and yeah, I don't think we'll have any issues. They do some pretty good work over there, so away we go. Next step is to take the check balls, which on a 19 plus they have some different locations and a different number than the previous ones. I should have had these out by now. Clearly, I'm not prepared. Story of my life. So, we got 5 check balls to go into the valve body itself. 2, 3, 4, and 5. I like to take a little bit of schmutz again. Just put them in there, just in case you're going to move this thing around and accidentally drop them and you don't know. Or worse yet, they fall into a different path and you don't know. Scratching your head when the thing doesn't come out of park or some ridiculous thing. So we verified check ball location, and it's time for a separator plate. So these guys, whoops, just like so. Yeah, looks good. And our billet piece. So this is also, every step here is very important, but this component is huge in making these things hold. Again, these have been machined flat. This in combination with this separator plate ensures that there are 0 cross leaks. And cross leaks are a big deal in these 68s. They give all sorts of issues. Just goes right down on top, over the dowels.
Hey Loki, can you say bye to Dada?
Bye, buddy! I gotta go back to work now.
Have fun fixing trucks.
Are you crazy?
Okay.
Okay, bye, I love you.
Love you, bye.
Okay, small break there. We're good. Where was I? I had all these in. These are all torqued, minus the solenoid pack ones, but we'll get there in a sec. So before I get ahead of myself, I've went over all these bolts twice with this torque wrench, 50 inch-pounds. We are gonna mark these so that I know they are torqued. Always good practice to do this. You're not taking a phone call from your wild 3-year-old and forgetting where you're at. Okay, now we'll flip her over. We'll put a manual valve in. All the way. We'll put this guy. Next part. So, brand new, every time, Mopar solenoid pack. I don't even take chances with used solenoid packs or the original ones or anything. Is not worth it in my books. Plus, for the price of these valve bodies, why would you put used electronics back on? I don't know. So, blue connector for the 19 and up. So the customer is going to have to pull this back off when they get this valve body to put the solenoid in. That solenoid, we try to leave it with the truck if we can, because that solenoid needs reprogrammed if it is changed from the truck to a different one. So if we just leave that guy with the truck, they never give any issues. Not like the solenoid packs, they give issues all the time. So we make sure we're changing those things as often as we can. That's what this connector is for as well. That solenoid that sits there. So don't think that I'm losing my mind on that and leaving something unplugged. I might be losing my mind, but not there. So at this point in time, this valve body is almost ready to be shipped. Once we get 3 donuts in there. So these guys sit down in there. And we put some schmutz on those guys. Schmutz, schmutz, schmutz. And a little bit around this guy. So this thing is ready to go. So this valve body is as complete as it can be until it goes back to the customer to get that solenoid put in. At this point in time, we can button this back up and ship it out. This one is going to Grand Prairie, Alberta, to After Dark Automotive. Trevor out there is a good guy. If you guys have are out that direction, need anything from him, make sure you give him a shout. I'll put his info up on the page there, and yeah, we are finished. Everything looks good. There you go. Finished product. It's Friday. It's time to go home.